Sadiq Khan's net zero ULEZ policy has become so damaging that it's now going to be affecting everybody, whether you have a car or not. It's time to call out the idiocy of our establishment and politicians like Sadiq Khan, the greedy control freaks who have a different agenda and different intention compared to what they are saying out in public. So, Sadiq Khan's obsessed with his net zero agenda as well as his progressive agenda and everything else. We know that. He's introduced this ULEZ expansion, the ultra low emission zones, which is nonsensical. And so far we've been focusing on this channel on how this is going to be affecting a lot of ordinary people who have a car and they can't afford to change the car and they have to pay extra tax just because they have to drive to work or drive a family member to hospital, emergency or whatever. That aside, now let's focus on the new data and the new research that shows it's actually going to be affecting the whole of the communities and areas, regardless of the fact that whether you drive or not. Because of course, it's going to be affecting everybody. Of course, the damage is going to be wider. It's the same thing as when we always say raising taxes on small businesses is not just going to be affecting the businesses because they have to make cuts, they have to increase their own prices, which means it's going to affect the consumers. It's the same thing with this area. So, I got this saying, don't own a car, you will still pay Sadiq Khan's ULEZ. When you shop at a local business, it's been forced to raise their prices to deal with the cost of ULEZ, you have to pay. You either pay directly or you will pay in terms of your life. And when you need a plumber who is stuck with a non-compliant van that they can't replace, well, they're going to raise their prices. You're going to have to pay more. When you donate to a charity that has to give some of its money to Sadiq Khan, or when you're at a hospital where the staff are struggling to get to work because they can't afford to pay Sadiq Khan. Now, as I said, it's important to point out how much damaging this is going to be to the whole of society. Obviously, this applies to Greater London, but these sort of things apply to other places. Birmingham have their own version. It's called the Clean Air Zones. Bristol, they're doing their own stuff. And it's not just ULEZ, because they're never going to stop at ULEZ. The ULEZ is not really the main thing. They're going to take it to a next level. And Sadiq Khan has already mentioned he wants to introduce, after this, pay per mile. So they're going to be controlling how much you drive, how many people, how many passengers you have in your car, what sort of car you have, what time of the day you're driving. And that's another thing. The low traffic neighborhoods, the LTN measures, that they block certain roads in the name of air pollution and traffic, but they're actually causing more air pollution and traffic. That's another thing. And then the wider goal, which is the 15-minute neighborhoods or 20-minute cities and all this, it's all in the same package. They're just doing step by step, and we have to call it out. We actually, obviously, went to Saturday, we went to the anti-ULEZ protest in central London. A lot of good freedom fighters and patriots who were there. And obviously the BBC called them all hard right and conspiracy theorists, as usual. But there's this clip. So when we were walking around interviewing people, this brave woman, freedom fighter, who decided to do her own speech against Sadiq Khan, who doesn't care.
Sadiq Khan is lying to you. Sadiq Khan doesn't care if you need your family car to get to the hospital for a cancer appointment. Sadiq Khan doesn't care if you have autistic children that need their family car. Sadiq Khan doesn't care if you lose your job and get forced onto the poverty line. Thousands of people will be applying for universal credit, putting a strain on the benefit system. The whole thing will come tumbling down. And I am here today to protect my children's and my grandchildren's freedom of movement. Sadiq Khan is a sinister man. He doesn't care if you live or if you die. People suffering from mental health issues will commit suicide. They will be cut off from the people that care for them. People that are suffering from loneliness will die lonely. People that are elderly and need help getting around will no longer be able to get around. People that have built up their own businesses over the last 30 years will crumble. because they've been told that their vehicles are non-compliant. I ask you this, compliant to who? Compliant to who? If your car is MOT'd, if your car has been tested for emissions and is safe to drive, who the hell are they to tell you if your car is compliant or not? They're making their own rules up as they go along to line their pockets, and they don't care if they destroy London while they're doing it. Get calm out! Get calm out!
Absolutely well done to this brave woman and all the brave people who have been speaking out. They've been rebelling, and apologize for the sound quality because of the megaphone, obviously. But it's important to speak out when something is unjust. Now, this was the latest update for you guys. We're going to come back in half an hour on Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.